it's so important, not only from a question of like bringing the right perspective, but also bringing the right excitement and passion to the project. So last but not least, are we the right people to do this? How many projects did we work on together about racism or diversity, equity, and inclusion? How many times did I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not the right person in the room to actually have a strong point of view on that? Even though my background is strategy, I tell you, I'm very opinionated. But it's so important we check our own perspective on the work, we check our own bias, but we also check our own passion. And it's true, when you have a team, and for example, you bring a Nike brief, everybody's going to be like so motivated and crazy about it, and then you bring an insurance brief or a pharma brief, and then the motivation comes down. And it's so important, not only from a question of like bringing the right perspective, but also bringing the right excitement and passion to the project. And that's how we know that the work will be not only authentic and genuine and well done, well crafted, and we will respect people's perspective, but also it's going to feel really great and creative. So, like I said, there are projects in which having both our perspective on a racism project is really important. I remember a campaign we worked on with Jayanta for P&G a few years before, where around racism with P&G, and it was really important that the piece of work would be really well received by, both the African American community and be a true representation of their experience every day. But it was so important also that, white people or people with prejudice could lean in. And so that's an example in which, having both of us on the project was really beneficial, because we could check each other out and we could see, where we would, fall into one extreme or the other for the success of the project. But there are other instances where sometimes it's a time to take a step back. And so we're going to talk about another project we created with Mailchimp, which goes back to continuously this purpose of empowering historically excluded communities. In this case, it was in the world of business and business literature. And what we realized was that when you look at business literature, it's often written from a white cis perspective. And there's many communities that are excluded, and their point of view are excluded. And the tips, the advice that they get from that is not necessarily very relevant. So after the murder of George Floyd, felt like the right opportunity to bring to the Black community, who was disproportionately hurt at the time. I think it was 44% of Black-owned businesses closed in the summer of 2020. It was really important to us that, with Mailchimp, we did something of significance that would truly be helpful, but we couldn't do it with existing material that existed at Mailchimp. We couldn't bring together, articles that had been written like a year or so ago. It was so important that we created from scratch a platform designed by and for the community. And that led to the concept, the idea of this digital magazine that we call Bloom Season, and that is designed by and for historically excluded communities. So the inaugural volume was, again, designed by and for the Black community, but since then we've been working on other issues, and trying to answer other needs. So again, it's a case in which the idea of like, do we have the right team? Do we have the right perspective? And what are the key team players at play was really important. And in order to succeed, Kwame took the lead. I was very happy, to learn from this incredible crew that we put together. And it's more than 50 people joined us to produce the first volume. Writers, journalists, illustrators, videographers, all of them incredibly talented, bringing the right exact first-hand experience that would be meaningful and relevant to our audience.
Yeah, it felt really important for this project that we had lived experience, like real insights from the business owners who are out there building their companies, and that they were comfortable sharing, because they knew this was about creating more success for everyone that's a part of the community. So everything from how to start, run, and grow your business to how to strike the balance between professional life and personal life. A lot of these business owners were working with their family or dealing with challenges around mental health. And so we needed to make sure that we were providing the resources to help them really kind of lean in and see themselves in the content, but also have the tangible, actionable resources that they could use to create more business success for themselves. So we're really, really, really proud of this project. We did 25 articles. Everyone was sort of bespoke, attacking a very specific issue. We had links to resources that you could access to help you learn about a challenge and hopefully overcome it. But more importantly, we created an amazing community. And for, again, these entrepreneurs who post the recession, post the pandemic, were really struggling, this became a bit of a beacon and a place where they could come, be themselves, connect, share, and have more success. We'll show you the launch film for it.
We as entrepreneurs continue to rewrite the playbook for business. Against all odds, we innovate. We conceive and we achieve. We need space that's ours to learn, to build, to bloom together. Welcome to Bloom Season.
So again, we brought together this incredibly eclectic crew for the first issue, which was focused on Black entrepreneurs. We're currently in development on the second issue, which is going to focus on LGBTQ+ entrepreneurs. They have very specific and very different challenges than other groups. So we're diving into that. It's launching in June. Very excited to share it with you once that breaks. So in summary, we went through these questions. We wanted to recap them for you. And hopefully these are useful as you attack your next projects and think about ways that you can have the creative outcome that you want, but also the business impact. Can this project be net positive? Can it actively do good? Can it advance a conversation? Can it advance the business of the brand that we're working on? Is it essential to the brand or to the business? Because if it's not going to be authentic, and it's not going to connect. It's not going to create the change that you want to see. Will it stand the test of time? And this is a big one. Like, are you really committed? Do you really want to do this to create the change? And are you going to do that on a recurring basis? Are we inviting others to participate in this platform or this idea? Again, that idea of generosity. You've got to be open. It's not about owning it for the brand. It's about creating the change and the business impact. And so having that mindset is key. And last but not least, are we the best team for this? And if you're not, can you be the best team for this? And the answer is yes. You just got to get some more people. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You want me to do it? Okay. I just want to say it's been a total pleasure to be here. I hope you all enjoyed the festival. It's such an incredible platform. I just want to give it up to Joe and to the whole D&AD team. No? No? No, come on. Obviously, a massive machine behind this. I hope you all enjoyed it and had a great time. Just want to say two things. One is, definitely check out Shift. Joe mentioned it before. It's a night school for creatives. It's free. If you're interested in the industry, excited to get into it, if you're not sure where to start, Shift is absolutely the best starting point. I feel really privileged that I've been a part of it for the last few years in New York. It's growing globally. It's honestly incredible. And the community around Shift is so generous and giving, and yeah, I can't say enough great things about Shift. So there's a booth. If you walk over, speak to some people. If you want to get engaged, definitely let us know.
And there are many ways to get engaged. You know, I have the pleasure to be a mentor as part of the program, and I cannot tell you how much I'm learning every day thanks to Kai, my mentee. So really, and it doesn't take that much time, and it's incredible to be part of somebody else's journey like that.
Cool. And then I think the last thing I'll say is we have drinks, right, Joe?
Yes, I get on stage to talk about alcohol. Thank you both so much. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
So much time you give. It's so amazing. Thank you so much.